Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is X Talk, a show where we sit down with your favorite artists, entertainers, and content creators to talk explicitly about all things extravagant. My name is Markus X, and today I'm once again joined by Kid Deville, who is going to be sitting in with us and getting into some things over here at X Talk. And our very, very special guest today, who is our special guest for episode 2, PrettiBoiRoq. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, babies. What's good?
How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm living my best life. How have you guys been?
Chilling. These titties are big and my ass is even bigger, so life is good.
That part, though.
Huh. How are you doing over there, kid?
I'm good, just chilling, just smoking, about to chat it up with y'all. You know,
Hell yeah.
how we get down. Period.
Thank you for coming back and thank you for joining us, pretty boy.
Yes.
So, I love to take things back. Whenever I sit down and talk to somebody new, I like finding out a little bit about your history. You know, if you want to tell us, I guess first you can introduce yourself to people who might not know who you are. Let us know what you do creatively. And then let's get into your background, maybe where you grew up and how you got started and what you do.
Yeah. So, hi guys. I'm PrettiBoiRoq. I'm a LA-based rapper, but originally from North Carolina, so Southern, born and bred. I've been in LA for 11 years now, but yeah, I grew up in a very, very, very small town in North Carolina. I always like to joke there's like more people than teeth where I'm from.
Oh
No.
It might be facts though.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah, I'll let y'all digest that for a second.
For real.
But yeah, so I was an art major in college. I actually double concentrated in photography and metals, so nothing to do with music.
Okay.
And was waiting tables when I graduated and decided I could do that anywhere. So I packed up my Chevy Impala and I drove across the country with $1,200 to my name and found a family to live with in Orange County. From there, so I'm going to just give you like the run through and we can just like tap into
that's what we're here for.
to.
Everybody is dying to know. Everybody that's listening wants to know all about PrettiBoiRoq.
So I moved to Orange County. I was actually working at a gay bar in Santa Ana called the Velvet Lounge, if anybody remembers that catastrophe. And I was a bar back. And they had a all-male cabaret group called the Foxes, and I just really was trying to like meet new gay men, like, you know, like meet my tribe essentially. And so I joined the cabaret group not knowing that I had to perform a solo as well. So they were like, so what are you gonna do for your solo? And I was like, well, I'm not the best dancer. Like, I can do a 1-2 step, I can follow choreography, I can twerk, but like doing a solo dance gig is not my thing. And if y'all have ever heard me sing, you know that's not a thing either. I was like, well, can I rap? And they were like, I don't know, can you? I was like, well, fuck. So I actually performed Iggy Azalea's Beg For It, my first ever live show.
Okay.
And
you ow your whole career to Iggy Azalea.
I do. She paved the way for big bootied white people. From there, I just started writing my own shit. And then I released Pretty Boy Anthem. It's almost been 10 years now. December 25th. I think it was on Christmas Day in 2015. So and from there, it just kind of escalated.
I guess my first question to follow that up with is then when you first started working on music, was it something that you immediately fell in love with? Like when you were doing this, because now obviously for it to be 10 years later, you have to be passionate about whatever it is if you're doing it for that long. So at what point did you fall in love with your craft?
Well, to be honest, I was always a writer. So I've written poetry my entire life. I used to write songs as well, but like not being a natural born singer, translating songs into actually performance was never really a thing. And I never really thought, I mean, I always like, you know, I grew up listening to Kim. Ludacris was like a huge inspiration. I like the Southern rappers, Lil Wayne. So like I always grew up listening to hip hop and writing, but it just never like the dots never clicked. Like I was never like, oh, I should rap. Because with rap, especially with like white rappers, there was like Eminem, and then there was like Caswell. And so like I just never really felt like I identified with either of those, and it never really like clicked to my brain. I really will say though, I think like seeing like Iggy Azalea, this like pretty white girl that like she spoke in a Southern dialect, which is like how I grew up speaking, even though she's not Southern. Like it just kind of like all just like started like became an amalgamation, and then I realized that I was actually good at it, and it just became like a passion project for me, and then it was the driving force, essentially transforming my writing into a performative art.
Going back to North Carolina, obviously you moved for a reason, but and you
Mm-hmm.
said that you had $1,200 to your name. Was it that you wanted to branch out then and just get out of where you grew up from? Or was it like, I don't know, I guess like tell us a little bit about why you decided to leave.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in a super religious household. My dad is a Southern Baptist minister,
Mm,
and my mom has, without getting too much into her business because it's not my narrative to tell, but she's been an addict since I was 5. So I had a very like weird upbringing because you go to like dad's house and you're at church like 3 times a week, and you go to mom's house and it's like a completely different dynamic. Um, and so like I don't know, I just always felt stifled. I was always my entire life, I worked in restaurants and people are like, "You're just too big for this place. Your energy is too much for this place. Like you need to move. You need to be in a city." And I think if you get told that enough times, you just kind of, it clicks. And I always thought I wasn't meant to be a small town kid, and I didn't want to, so I left.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have similar stories, myself included. I grew up in a small city in Michigan and I was like, I gotta get out of here, and like different
Hmm.
background family wise. But I think a lot of queer folk who grow up in smaller places eventually either they stay there and it kind of just like kills their soul, or they move out and try to, find their way in the world and find their tribe, like you were saying. So now that you've been in LA for so long, do you love it? Like, I have such a love hate relationship with LA, so I'm curious because you've been there for a minute now. Are you still loving it?
I think LA, I have a very love hate relationship with LA. I feel like anybody who grew up in the East Coast can maybe like understand this, and this is no shade to anyone who was born and raised on the West Coast. It's just a different energy.
Mm,
Like, listen, kid, like, we chop it up all the time. You're
Yeah.
different. But like I always like put the like this is the best way I can explain it. If you go to a bar in New York by yourself, right? You just walk into a bar on a Saturday night and you sit at the bar and you have a drink. Within an hour and a half, you've met at least 3 friends. People are like
mm,
talking to you, they want to get to know you. If you go to LA, especially in certain pockets of LA, especially within our community, and you walk into a bar by yourself, you could sit there for 2 hours with a drink and no one even says hello.
mm, mm.
It's just I feel like LA's very much more. I don't want to say clicky, but it's just like everyone sticks to their tribe and they don't really branch out as much.
Yeah,
Whereas like in on the East Coast, like even when I'm in Miami, like I make best friends every time I'm out in Miami. I couldn't tell you their name, but I got their number in my phone.
I'm out here in Miami.
Yeah, looking for my baby daddy. But so I think that's the difference. So with LA, like it's obviously like nurtured my career. I've met some really amazing people, like Kid and you included, like even though you're San Fran, but like, like I've met my family within LA and I love them, but I always feel like my energy is very much more East Coast.
Yeah, yeah. Well, people on the East Coast also, and Kid, feel free to jump in wherever here. I don't want to just keep directing us around, but I do feel
No,
like
you're
people on the
good.
East Coast, it's like such a different energy where people on the East Coast and maybe in the South as well are just a lot more direct. I feel like the South is different too because the South, like people will smile in your face and then like talk shit behind your back. The East Coast, people are
Hmm.
just talking shit right to your face. Like they're telling you exactly how it is. And then the West Coast, I feel like it's kind of similar to the South, where it's like it's a little more fake, right?
Yeah.
typically.
I just think that sometimes LA gets a bad rap because I feel like there's a lot of people that aspire to come to LA. So a lot of people come here in droves and they kind of blend themselves in with LA people. Like, I mean, I never really grew up in LA. I was always around LA as a kid and growing up, but I'm from the Inland Empire and there aren't I don't get that fake energy. I feel like that energy that's in LA is everywhere. You know what I mean? It's just
Hmm.
if you go to the right place. I feel like that same energy is in Miami. That same that same fakeness is in New York. Anywhere you look, you know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
it's more so on like who you're talking to versus like if you find real LA natives, people who are maybe not even just from LA, maybe from the Inland Empire, maybe from the San Fernando Valley, you'll get a different perception. I just feel like people always want to throw the fake Hollywood just because it's Hollywood. You know what I mean? So everybody just wants to
Yeah.
throw LA under the fake bus. And I know there are some shitty ass people out here, but I just feel like LA always gets like and maybe I get defensive because when I hear LA, I think California all of a sudden. But it's
Hmm.
like we're big. California is bigger than LA, obviously. You know what I mean? So that's why I
Yeah.
think I get so defensive because I'm like, wait a minute, like we're not fake. But I'm like, well, I guess LA is, but you know. I guess
uh,
I don't want that to be wrapped in with California, you know what I mean? Like or Southern California in that
right.
aspect, I guess.
And I guess just to touch base a little bit more about your experience, Pretty Boy, moving from North Carolina to LA, there were a couple of questions that were submitted, which we're going to get into here in a little bit, but it just seems like a good segue point since we're already on the topic. You know, there were a couple of questions people were asking, like, how hard was it for you to move to LA? Is LA clicky? And I mean, you've already brought it up just within this last, 5 minutes. Um, I guess kind of both of those points, but did you find when you first moved to LA then it was difficult for you for a while to be able to make solid friends?
Let's say like I had a very interesting like segue into like the social scene of LA because like I said, I spent my first year in Orange County.
Mm-hmm.
I instantly joined like that the cabaret group and like they were like my brothers for the first year I was out here. Like we did everything together. Like the Foxes, we like we did prides together. We did shows at different clubs. Like if like like everyone's birthdays, like it was always a celebration with the Foxes. So it was very much like I kind of had the camaraderie. And then when I met my now ex boyfriend in Orange County and I moved to LA, I feel like it was a double isolation because not only was I being taken away from kind of like the family I created in Orange County, but I was also like still like, really struggling with music. I think I met Kid around that time, like 2016. We started like talking in works of like working on music together. So I was like meeting people in the industry, but having a boyfriend who was not about going out and not about the social scene at all made it really hard for me because trying to go to bars and mingle like my entire first, like, I would say 3 to 4 years marketing myself as a musician was strictly online. Like, every feature I pretty much met was through like Instagram and things like that.
Mm.
Instead of like the more organic that way I meet artists now, where I'm like, I'll be like at beaches in West Hollywood chopping it up with Tokyo. And then like he's like, oh, this is this rapper, like y'all should exchange Spotify's. And so now it's like it's a very different dynamic. So I think maybe I should backtrack a little bit on like the clickiness because I also was probably isolating myself being with a man that didn't want to be out and about and doing the things that I wanted to do.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, I think my experience is very unique in the fact I got into a relationship almost immediately,
Do you, do,
and then was in that relationship for a very long time.
do you feel like you're a part of the clique now? Are you now that you've established yourself a little bit, are you like some new bitches are coming out and you're like,
Am I like a West Hollywood mean gay? Is that what you're asking?
who are these girls out tonight?
Right. You're
I
like the
will
Lindsay
say
Lohan now. You're like Lindsay Lohan when she's like
Right.
becoming like
Right.
you are plastic.
yeah.
No, I will like for me and like Kid can also jump in at any point in time because Kid has spent time with me, worked with me both like in person and over thing. I think the thing about me is my southern part of me will never leave.
Mm.
Like I've never been cross with anybody. I was actually talking to a friend of mine earlier, another rapper, about this. Like if anybody approaches me at a club, I am so nice. I am not the kind of person that pretends I'm better than anybody, because I don't think I'm better than anybody.
Yeah.
I might not always work with people who want to work with me because
Sorry, I didn't.
Stop
Sorry.
it. And how do I word this right? I work with people that I find something interesting in or talent in. I'm not just going to work with somebody for clout. You could be popping off on the scene. If I don't think you're talented, I'm not going to work with you.
Yeah.
And that's just how I am. And
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to put that.
I mean, it is what it is. I'll fill in the blanks what you say. Like, bitch, I don't give a fuck about your numbers. Like, it's like, if your shit isn't popping, then I'm sorry. Like, I'm not gonna waste my time. Like, I've definitely had people send beats that just weren't it, or like your lyrics just weren't it, or you weren't planning on getting it mixed and mastered. And it's like, babe, I'm sorry. And it's like, I used to feel bad, but then I can't remember who said this to me, but they were like, Dom, you have spent so much money and time getting your shit mixed and mastered and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people who want to work with you need to come correct. Like, it just is what it is. Like, don't get on somebody else's shit to help boost them when you didn't spend all this time, energy, money, sweat, tears. And then now you're going to step back. You know what I mean? And yeah, so that's why I'm like, no, say what you got to say. Like, maybe one day we can work together, but babe, you know, we all had to grow. You know what I mean? Like, we all had to grow.
Have you ever?
Yeah, and I would say there's like.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
There's just a little lag, so it's like I feel like sometimes when I start talking or when somebody else starts talking, it's like it's lagged a little bit.
Right. What are you using? Like a Motorola Razr? Like,
yeah, definitely. For real, the flip phone. Those used to be nasty back in the day. I used to want a fucking Razr so bad.
I wanted the Dolce & Gabbana one, the gold one. Yeah.
I still have my hot pink one.
Do you really? We love it. I can still see.
Actually, it's going to be in my next video. I just bought a Game Boy Color, and I'm bringing back my Motorola Razr.
Love that.
Okay.
I used to be
so fucking good with like the T9 too, like you like tapping it like 7 times, like however many times, like fucking get.
Yeah.
That shit, man. We're like aging ourselves right now.
We really.
Wait, what? What's
they
T9?
about to be like some
right. What does that mean?
Right. They about to be like these old heads.
I know, right?
All right. Well, on that note, let's jump into our first break. Before we get into how you guys know each other, I know that you already kind of started to touch base on that, but I want to dive into that a little bit further. But let's go ahead and take our first break. For this break, we are going to start off with. Let's do the Faggot remix featuring Kid Deville from my project, from my new project, Heaven's Gate, the Deluxe Edition. All right, we will be right back. Don't know nothing. Don't know nothing. These niggas pressing, I love it. Bad bitch up in the echo. Ho run up and I might blackout. Hit my niggas in the trap house. Drop the addy, pull the map out. And if they want it, bitch, it's on sight. It's been so long, ain't got no act right. Let you up no matter day or night. I'm him, faggot.
Why y'all standing there? Why y'all talking that shit about me? Come close so I can hear. Ain't never been a passive faggot. Niggas try me, they disappear like magic. Never the one packing the gun. Got some raw niggas for that. Who lay that ass flat? Lisa left that taught me that. Copy pasting the kid. Copy all the shit I been did. But there's only one pretty face. Busting up the lace with the crazy shit. Got your nigga looking this way. Cause he wanna taste. If you want beef, I'll be your chef, Boyardee. Karate chop that ass, Bruce Lee. Leave you bleeding like a coochie. And all different colors like a coochie. When I get in that ass and not how you like it, faggot. Yeah.
All right, welcome back. Thank you, thank you for being here
Love
with us
that.
still. So, as I mentioned before the break, I want to discuss a little bit about how you guys know each other. You mentioned that you met in 2016, which is funny because we just talked about how we met around the same time. So I'm like, we all were linking up
Yeah.
around the same fucking time period.
Mhm.
But you guys have worked on music videos, performances, right? You've done kind of all of it at this point
No, we've never
together.
performed yet. I have
We've
not
never performed
performed.
together.
I don't know why, but we haven't yet.
COVID fucked that up.
True.
COVID, that was supposed to be a whole album.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, do
Sorry, my
you
cat's in heat and he's like just rubbing my leg. No, but yeah, no, we've worked on we've worked on music. We have a lot of unreleased music too. And like I said, COVID really did fuck up. And I remember like this one director that I was like working with who has done like great work for me. He all of a sudden just started doing some bullshit, canceled the day of we were supposed to do a shoot. You remember that one song that we have, that parody song that is like,
Yep.
I love that fucking song and it's coming out. All my straight friends love that
Yo,
song.
what up?
Yes. And then Sit on Your Face still got to come out. Like, but anyway, it's coming. But yeah, basically, it's just people start fucking around in this industry. They don't take their shit serious, and then start wanting to steal money. And yeah, sorry, I had to go off on that. But anyway, but hopefully, a performance is coming soon. You know what I mean?
No, we
2020.
have a new song on the album as well. So
Yeah, that song's fire. I can't wait. I feel like that's gonna be a cute little video too. We need to plan a little video for that. Absolutely.
absolutely. No, it's on like the docket. Like, yeah, so Kid and I worked on, oh my God. We have Yo What Up. We have, I'm trying to think of all the unreleased stuff. Sit on Your Face.
Sit on Your Face. That one song that he want that fat, and it's all that. Remember that
Oh,
he looking like some hot chocolate.
yeah.
You remember that song? Oh my god, it's so hot. No, that song is
Yeah,
hot.
because we work well together. And one thing is
Right.
that like I would go down and I would record with Kid and we would just
Mhm.
be in the studio, we would just chop it up and it was like always so fun. And that's one thing I will say, like Kid's one of two artists that, well, three, but one shall not be named. One of two artists that I've worked with organically and wrote with in a studio
Right.
space, and like we vibe off each other, and that's why like I will always, anytime I have a project, like I'll reach out to Kid.
Right, and I'm
Um,
always ready. He always got because like he literally would come down and be like, "Oh my god, I have all these beats that I've had for like years." I'd be like, "Let me hear them," and then I'd be like,
mhm.
"Okay, this one, this one, this one. Give me 15 minutes. I'll go write a hook for that shit," and then we record it. So we work very well together.
I feel like both
Yeah.
of you, having worked with both of you now as well, both of you work really, really quickly. And also something else that I'll say about both of you as artists is when you've been in the shit for in the game for however long, you can just see how serious somebody takes their craft by how
Hmm.
professional they are about how they go about handling business shit together. And so with both
Hmm.
of you, I feel like both of you are like, when you say you're going to get something done, you get it done. Like there's never like a lot of chasing. There's no chasing on anything. Like Pretty Boy, when I sent you that song recently, you literally turned around and got me back a verse in like a couple days. It was crazy. I was like,
Hmm.
damn, you moved
Pretty
really
Boy is
quick on
always gonna.
this.
That's why I will definitely give that to Pretty Boy. He will always. It's gonna be a production. You know what I mean? Like I remember when we did the video, Pretty Boy Rock. Like we
Hmm.
went. He rented a house out in like near San Diego. Where is
Yeah,
that?
Escondido. We had a
Yeah,
whole goddamn villa. We had like
it
a
was so fun.
pool. We had a hot tub.
Literally for 2 days, like just chilling, filming a video. It was so hitting. Like
That
it was
was the
so hitting.
one
So
with
yeah,
that was the video that had
Randy.
Randy in it.
Hmm.
yes, Randy Boo.
Cute.
How's he
Uh,
doing?
the world is waiting to hear it.
Nothing. I mean, just like business
I
is
haven't
just
talked to
going
him in a while.
south.
That's why I was asking. That wasn't shade. I was like, I
No, it
literally
wasn't.
haven't
No, it
talked to
wasn't
him in a
shade.
minute.
It really wasn't shade either. Like I was just like just a business, something, But it's nothing like crazy where I hate him or anything like that. Like we worked on music. It's nothing crazy. So yeah, but no, I don't know. I don't know. Is he still
Cute.
doing music, Pretty Boy? Are you gonna do? Oh, okay, okay.
I don't know.
But yeah, that video shoot was really fun. We had a really good time, and I
It was
thought
cute.
it was
I will say
cute.
the one thing I wish we had done, and I wish I had met Nick sooner, my video guy now, because I think if we had had that space with Nick's fucking brain,
Yeah.
that would have been litty. That would have been stupid.
Wait, so really quick, I'm just curious. Have you ever worked with talent and they, you want everybody to be compensated, right? Appropriately.
Uh-huh.
But also, again, being independent artists, like this is all coming from our own pocket, right? Have you ever tried to book talent and they like threw you like a crazy number where you were like, bitch, what? Like you think that I'm gonna pay you $800?
Me and PrettiBoy had that.
Oh, for real?
We had that. Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to say any names. I just was curious because that happened to me. No. That happened to me one time. And the person who it was, I was like, this literally is a look for you. Like, you have not even a following and like you're trying to charge me, like, you know what I mean? And like we're all coming up, right? Like we're all like and again, like I want everybody to feel appropriately compensated, but also yes, know your worth, but also like there's a line too, you know.
Do you know what it is though? I can tell you guys exactly what it is because we all put a lot of time and value and money into our projects. So people look at that as we have money, so they're gonna try to. It's a money grab for them when they look at us. Now, if we were like showing up with our iPhone shooting like that, then they might come and do it for a little bit cheaper. But when they see that, they're like, oh, they got budget, so they want to start talking budget. And it's like, I just know what the fuck I'm doing when I shoot. Like what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I literally had somebody do a verse for me. And then my video comes out, and then I was like, "Hey, can you do your verse because it kind of sounds a little fuzzy?" And they're like, "Yeah, but can you send over $150?" And I was like, "What? I thought you were doing this. Like, I thought we was collabing." Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, people will see the video. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, people see like our value, and they're like, "Oh, well, this is a money grab for me. Let me just throw out some crazy ass number." And then when you're like, "No, bitch, like that's not gonna happen," then they'll start trying to come down.
Yeah, and I think it's also funny how when people like have a following, I don't know if we're gonna have any visuals, but I put quotations up. Because when your interactions don't match your following, like, let's talk. But let's see, and then they're like, I had like a model one time, and let's just say they were an adult entertainer, and I was like, because my second video I hired a porn star, and like it actually did get a good traction on my video. Shout out to Arad, he was great. He charged me a very reasonable day rate, and this other guy literally was like, oh yeah, it's like $1,500 for a 4-hour shoot, and I was like, I know for a fact you go and fuck people on camera for 8 hours for $300 because I know the Helix producers you work with. Like, what people don't realize is I actually worked with a lot of like erotica and low budget indie film companies when I first moved out here. So I know the budget for tops from Helix Studios. I know the budget for Falcon Studios. I know how much you get paid for those scenes. I'm asking you to stand there and look pretty. You ain't even got to get hard. Asking me for $1,500.
You're like, right? You're like, bitch. This isn't a fucking porn shoot. This isn't an escort gig, honey.
Right. And you're gonna ask me 3 times what you get paid to fuck somebody?
You just gotta stand there.
That's a
and
joke.
Look pretty and pretend to be interested.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
No, that's crazy.
I guess the acting part is what they upcharge for. I don't know.
Like, that's bitch, crazy. Is you SAG? Is you AFTRA, nigga? Right. Like, no, bitch. Like, bitch. Whatever it's called. AFTRA, whatever.
Right.
But I'm like, fuck out of here.
PrettiBoiRoq came to get the girlies together today.
Good. They need to be got together because it's like, girl.
It's the drinky drink. I'm sorry.
No, be real. Like, tell these horror stories. Like, I literally, like, some people just like the audacity. I'm just like, girl, like, relax. And I'm like I said, I don't ever want nobody doing nothing for free. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, but it's like at the same time, we can either work an hourly rate, a day rate, or whatever. But it's like I'm still gonna offer you more than like what a minimum wage job. Like, I'll be offering you like $30, $40, $50 an hour. You know what I mean? I'm only gonna have you there a couple hours. So it's like,
right. Another thing too that I want to ask is, have you ever, out of the kindness of your heart, have you ever maybe done like a feature for somebody or like done some type of work for somebody and then like they weren't like appreciative of what you did for them? Has that ever happened to you?
Yes. I'll go first. I have this person who doesn't even make music anymore, East Coast. I don't think anybody even knows him. But he was actually like a decent rapper.
Bum bitch.
Like he was good.
Bum bitch.
He released a mixtape, and he reached out to me, and he was like, yo, this is like, you know, very like Atlanta vibes. That's like your thing. Like you're very Southern. He was like, can you remix this for me? I gave you a full 16. I was like, yeah. So I like sent a remix first. And like, you guys know, like when I send you even like a demo back, 9 times out of 10, I went to the studio to record it. I made sure all the vocals were like chopped and perfected. And then I sent it back. And like 3 or 4 months goes by. Like I didn't hear anything. And I was like, okay, whatever. He's probably busy. I was like, yo, what's going on with the Get a Bag remix? And he was like, yeah, I just don't feel like you went as hard as you could have.
Ooh.
And you waited 3 to 4 months to tell me that? I would never even respond.
Right.
Like, bitch, give me my shit back.
Right.
And my thing was like, I went back and listened to it, and I think a lot of times, and maybe I'm overstepping a little bit, but I think a lot of times people who do things like that, it's not even that like you didn't go as hard. I think you almost maybe went too hard, and they're worried that you're gonna like outshine on the verse. Because I've dropped verses for people before, and I've been like, I didn't mean to mop you, it just happened. Like, because sometimes you find a beat and you find the moment. Like, it's not every time. Like, I don't feel like I'm that girl. Like, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I mop everybody on a verse, every verse I'm on. I'm like, I'm not the Nicki Minaj of gay rap by any means. But what I'm saying is there are moments where like you get that hook and you get that like verse and you get it just right there and you get in that pocket and you're really feeling it and you fuck shit up. It just happens sometimes.
I had done something piggybacking off of the question. I had done I did a verse one time. Wait, before I even get into that, I want to follow up on before I get into that, I do want to follow up because I feel like also it's like if you're not a fucking hater, like you want somebody to go hard on your shit. You know what I mean? Like to I guess touch base on what you were saying about, you know, going hard on somebody else's verses. And like the thing is too, is that it's like all of us as artists are doing different things. Hopefully, I would hope, right? And so it's like what I'm gonna bring to a track is gonna be different than what either one of you bring to a track. So it's like that's why people collaborate, is because you're bringing different things in, you know? So it's like maybe I'm going super crazy on the fucking shit and then you bring a different energy. Like it's not a competition in that way even, you know? But I was gonna say I had this artist had reached out to me one time a few years ago and he was asking for me to write some shit. And so I like came up with this fire ass verse and like sent him like a demo of it. And he was like, like, I really don't like the part. Cause I said like, ooh shit, I'm gonna drag the bitch. Something like that. And he was like, I really don't condone violence against women. And he was like, so I'm gonna have to take you off of this song.
Pretty Boy's face.
And I was like, what? So first of all, why are women bitches? Like, let's start there. Why are like automatically you're thinking I'm talking about a woman when I say I'm a bitch? Like
that's very misogynistic.
I'm like, bitch, you're a bitch. You're a bitch right now. You know?
To even say that, to even consider that, like whatever. Right. Like, wow.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. Well, and I hope he hears this too. My next question before we jump into the second break and introducing the little preview the exclusive that you've given to the show. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you're currently working on? I know earlier you said that you have an album coming out.
I do.
You want to touch base on that? Do you want to spill any exclusive? You want to drop like an album title or anything like that? Any exclusive tea about what's coming out?
Yeah, I will. So I mean, I dropped my mixtape back in December, and my mixtape was essentially like all the songs that either was supposed to be on my original album that was supposed to be out in like 2020, but we all know what happened there. So like PBR, I think is on it with Kid. Like, you know, I like all these songs that were supposed to be this collection. So during COVID, right after COVID, I had my big breakup and things like that. So artistically, I was just in a different place. But long story short, the past 2 years, I've been working on a full-length LP. And the big thing I wanted to do was I wanted to bring back all the people who have kind of like helped me on my trajectory up. So every feature on this album was people I've already worked with once before. Oh, and that's why when I reached out to Kid, I reached out to Tokyo, I reached out to Chanel, like these people who I've had these moments for in like music, you know? And yeah, but the album is called Prince of the South.
Hey.
Because I think people forget I'm from the South. And I did kind of try to do this blending of LA sounds with like hip hop or like Southern hip hop cadence and flow. Because I always have that kind of like Southern drawl to the way I rap. It's just like what I grew up listening to, my accent before I lost it moving out here. It's just, I am very Southern by nature. So I did want to kind of blend that East Coast, West Coast energies. Yeah, and I don't have a release date because the world's going up in flames around us. So
Well,
it
literally
was
for
supposed
you
to be
out in
my
LA,
birthday, but I'm
shit.
just like
I
now I'm
know.
like we don't have to talk politics today, but like everything's just kind of been weird lately. So Tokyo and I are shooting our video in 2 weeks. Chanel and I are shooting our video a month after that, and I think that'll be when the album drops. But I have to like make sure that's all set up. But yeah, that's the tea, sis.
Cute.
Yes.
Well, thank you for the exclusives. And leading into more exclusives, do you want to tell us a little bit about the song that we're going to preview on this show today? We got an exclusive over here for X Talk. PrettiBoiRoq hit us with the exclusive.
Yes. So this song is called Passport. I wanted my Little Kim How Many Licks moment.
Oh, okay.
And so when I was like, you know, because like I said, I grew up listening to Kim, I grew up listening to Nicki, and like they all have that like song where they talk about like the boys they've had over the years. And you know, I kind of wanted to do a play on that. I wanted to make it cute. And when I heard this song, it originally had a Megan Thee Stallion voiceover on the very front of it. And I was like, I have to take that out. So I did a little voiceover in front of it, and then I was just like, I don't know, I'm feeling passport. And I was like, oh my God, collecting these hoes, like stamps on a passport. Like,
Okay.
you know, I'm just like getting all the boys. And so, yeah, that's kind of the basis of the song. It's just like my little single tirade I had after me and my ex decided to.
Hell yeah. Well, on that note, this is Passport by PrettiBoiRoq, an exclusive sneak peek.
I don't care if these bitches don't like me. Cause, like, I'm pretty as fuck.
I'ma keep it cute, who's comparing me to you? Let me keep it real, I'm a 10, you a 2. Keep it hella tight, but that ass ran through. Saw your last post and it had me like, ew. And I'm doing it for sport. Different man in every city, different dude in every port. See my dick hella long, but I keep my business short. Collecting these hoes like stamps on a passport. Been around the world, yeah, I fucked a couple girls. Had me digging in them clams, had me looking for them pearls. Psych made you blink, I ain't playing in the pink. Bet I bet 100 stacks, I can make that pussy purr. Had this dude named Zach, almost had a heart attack. When he clapped me from the back, yo, it started clapping back. Other day in LA with this boy named Dre. Gave it to him twice, now he's begging me to stay.
Getting laid strong, layovers in Milan. But I got his name wrong, was it Stefan or Stephon? Saw my ass in a thong, now we posting up a song. Catch a flight to New York, cause I'm fucking with the dawn.
I'ma keep it cute, who's comparing me to you? Let me keep it real, I'm a 10, you a 2. Keep it hella tight, but that ass ran through. Saw your last post and it had me like, ew. And I'm doing it for sport. Different man in every city, different dude in every port. See my dick hella long, but I keep my business short.
Yo, dick is hella long.
I know. I'm like, that's a good. His dick hella long is a great segue because this
Well, he is a white boy from the South.
We're moving into a segment that I like to call X Marks the Spot. Okay, so for X Marks the Spot, we get into user submitted question or listener submitted questions. If you do want to call in for the show for the future or send me a text, that number is 415-448-6630. Go ahead and send us a voicemail or send me a text message with a question. You could ask us for advice. You could tell us a story, whatever you want to do. But with that being said, this is X Marks the Spot. So for this week, we got some questions to get into. And the very first one that I'm going to kick it off with, somebody asked, who has been your favorite collab and is there anybody that you regret working with? You don't have to say names, but we don't mind. Bitches are messy.
Messy.
So favorite collab.
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna say purely for the moment it created, I'm gonna have to say Chanel.
Okay.
Not because of any not because I love her more than anyone else. Like I said, I've worked with Kid a lot. We've done a lot of really great music, and I'm excited about the stuff coming up. But when we did Bad Bitch Alert, that was such a reset for me in my career because that was the first song I had released since my breakup. That was like kind of launching the new Pretty Boy. You know what I mean? It was like there was just amalgamations of things, and like I remember sitting in the studio with her and I was so unsure of myself because I had, like I said, I was going through a breakup. I had like done all these things and like we sat there on the third verse that we kind of do go back and forth on. And she's like, we got to put something here. She's like, do you write? And I said, baby, I wrote everything that was on here. She's like, all right, well, let's write. And we literally wrote that on the spot in 15 minutes and just like worked it. And anybody who's worked with Chanel knows she's like amazingly talented, but she's also very straightforward. And like we were leaving the studio and we were walking back to our cars, and she goes, I just have to let you know I fucks with you. She's like, you're so talented, you're so great. She's like, stop doubting yourself. And she just like walked away. So I think it's more so kind of the moment and what was going on in my life, and kind of she was that like mindset I needed to like get me to where I wanted to go. I will say though, I think favorite verse I've ever gotten will be PBR Kid, because my favorite line is his fucking intro. It's the kid, bitch. But he say it with the big lips, designer hits, designer hits, designer hits. I'm just like, oh my god, like we would the whole time we were editing that video, Nick and I would just be sitting there at 3 a.m. We would just look at each other and we would go, "It's the kid, bitch."
Love that. Yes.
Well,
so yeah,
I gotta meet this Chanel. She like, I've heard some stuff that she's done with you, Pretty Boy, and Marcus. So yeah, I think
she's
me and her
talented.
I think we would do some cool shit. I feel
you guys would mesh well together, and I think your work ethics are really similar. I think, yeah. Okay, I think you should, like, I'll definitely try to like connect the dots, but also I think like
I was gonna say, is she one of the ones that if I like send her a message, like she's like too big to like respond back, or no?
No.
Like, oh, okay.
She's like, she's the kind of girly. She'll never like pretend to be better than anybody. That's not her. Because you're also talented. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, well then, yeah, I definitely will be on that. Is everybody answering that question though, or we?
Yes, we all are going to answer the questions.
Okay,
or respond to.
Well, do I have to answer the second part?
Oh yeah, the second part. Oh yeah.
So it says even in the question, you don't have to say names, but we don't mind. But so you could just say as yes or no. Is there anybody that you regret working with?
Absolutely.
Huh. Okay, we can leave it there. Who has been my favorite collab? I feel like we had a similar question to this last week, Kid. I would say my favorite collab. I feel like I've worked with Kid the most out of everybody that I've collaborated with. So I'm going to give it to him. And is there anybody who I regret working with? No, because I did my thing on everything that I've done. And even like that bitch that I was mentioning earlier, who didn't want me to be talking about bitches, dragon bitches. I don't even regret working with them. They just missed out on the opportunity.
For me, like I said, I think I have liked every feature I've been on, because I wouldn't have been on it if I didn't like it. I think the most like the standout ones are like I had to share it between Marcus and Drury King, who I think you guys like follow him, just because Drury King was like one of the first people that I met back in like 2015 when I first started. And I remember he invited me out to San Francisco for Pride to perform with him and a drag queen that he was writing for at the time. And yeah, he kind of taught me how to like perform on stage and shit. So, and we've done some great like songs that are also unreleased. And then Marcus was like, I met Marcus like right after that. And then Marcus we came out to San Diego, did a big old show. And then like, we were just doing dope ass songs and shit. And I was just like, yeah, so I would say like, those are like the most standout, but like Pretty Boy, you like everything that we've done, I think is fucking amazing. Like I said, and the shit that is unreleased, like, oh my God, like, I'm just like, yeah. So
no, yeah, I love you down. That's why I was like, it's so hard to pick like an individual person because I think like especially if there's people that you've had like a very organic like workflow with.
Right.
Like even Marcus, like when you sent me the song that I sent you the verse back, and then you sent me a beat, and you're like, which one do you fucks with? I was like, I want both. You said, well, bitch, have both. I was like, okay. So it's like, you know, I think when you meet people who are on your level artistically, like that's where the more organic things happen. And I think, like I said, I think it's just it's the difference of like, okay, where were you in that moment when that was happening? Like, what's going on? Like you were saying, like Drake King was like one of the first people you ever worked with and kind of put you on, and you guys performed together and things. So like you have those core memories connected.
Right.
So yeah.
Kid, is there anybody that you regret working with?
Don't lie.
No, I'm trying to think. Like, okay, does this mean like the song came out and like I was like fuck, or like we were in the process of working together and then like it kind of just fell apart?
Your art pop can mean anything. Yeah, whatever you think.
Then yeah, absolute oh yeah, fuck yeah. Oh fuck yeah, fuck yeah. Producers as well. Yes, I'm sorry. Like all of a sudden, like this door just opened up. Like all these fucking producers. I remember when I first started, and I almost missed out on Callahan because I was so jaded by fucking producers, just like screwing me over. Like ones I met on Craigslist that were like straight guys that were just like, all right, bro, like, are you happy with it? I'm like, I don't know, nigga, you're a producer. Like, you tell me, does it sound good? Like, what the fuck? And I remember I went to this one guy's place and his girlfriend was there, and I'm like doing my ad libs or whatever. I'm like, and I see her like over there like studying or whatever, and she like looks over at her boyfriend, and they're like laughing. I'm like, you know what, bro? I think I'm gonna wrap this up and go ahead and dip. Like what the fuck? So yeah, and then there's been artists too that just like, I don't know, get too full of themselves. You know what I mean? Want to tell me how I should do my verse after I send you, you know, the track or whatever, and then now you feel like the track should go a different way. No. So yeah.
Well, that's what I'll say too, is like I think and again, Kid and I can just keep it to ourselves, but there are certain people that Kid particularly warned me about and was like, I don't think that's good energy, and I didn't listen. And then 3 years later, Kid's like, told you so.
I know, and I hate doing that.
You never said told you so, but you were like,
yeah.
So I think, yeah, it's
Kid,
it's a learning process though.
I'm gonna just because I'm an Aquarius and I could just tell people's like energy, and I'm just like, look, none of us are like where we want to be. Like, so I don't give a fuck how many goddamn followers you have. I don't give a fuck how many people want to fuck you. Like, your music isn't doing what you think it is. Like, people might support you because they're trying to get in your pants. Like at this point, so it's like, let's be honest with the situation. So it's like when you come off thinking you're goddamn, I don't know, fucking Jay-Z or some fucking body of the gay world, then yeah, I am like, bitch, no. Like, and there's so many of them like that. It's like, girl, like, stop. Like, yeah,
the Nicki Minaj.
I'm not gonna say names, but it's just like, it's just people, and then they want to like get on social medias and then talk about other people in the community because you think you doing something so big, and it's like, babe, like, yes, Marcus, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, you're releasing everything but music,
right?
Like, how can you have like rapper in your name if you don't even have a song out?
That's what I'm saying. And then it's like, okay, you spend all this time and effort trying to get the attention of a rapper from back in the day, and yeah, they give you a like, but it's like, you can't put that song out. Like, I'm just saying, like, you got a like, did that do anything for you? Like, she liked it, but she's probably like, bitch, I know you better not put this shit out or that shit will get snatched down in the next hour. Like,
I just remember I don't want to body shame anybody. I just remember a bitch out here.
Are we just all talking about the same person?
Yeah, I remember a bitch out here back. I remember a bitch out here back in 2020 wanted to talk about people's OnlyFans, but then they was out here looking like the green M&M.
Right. With the boots and all. With the boots and all. And I'm sorry, but yeah, don't talk about me. You don't know me, babe. And then especially when he was in my inbox, like trying to get praise, and we're supposed to work together, and then all of a sudden it's just like, you too good because somebody want to show a little ass on OnlyFans, girl. Fuck you, like, please.
Which is so crazy to me. It's like, I don't know. It's like fucking 2025. I don't.
Right. It's for real. It's what it is. It's the X spot.
Yeah, hoes be trifling. I don't know.
Right.
It's just bizarre to me. It's like bizarre to me that people have this like idea of themselves that just doesn't exist. It's like,
crazy. It's
who
insane.
are you?
That's like a mental illness. I think that might be a mental illness that people like. I'm sorry not to be like that, but I'd like to be like that. Like I think that might be it. Like you think you're that important?
Oh wait, it's
hey,
like
what are we
wait.
doing? What are we doing?
Grammy award-winning artists.
Right.
What'd you win a Grammy for? Where? Bitch, where? You know what? If I see that Grammy, I will not release another song for the rest of my life.
We need proof. Where is the picture? Where is the picture?
Where's the Grammy?
Okay,
where is it
okay.
at?
Let's put things in perspective. Okay, but let me play devil's advocate, I guess. But like, look at like T.S. Madison, right? Like, she had the little like talking thing on Beyonce's album, and Beyonce won a Grammy for that. So T.S. Madison now technically won a Grammy. So maybe it's one of those situations. And then you remember how like there was like T.S. Madison's like recorder who had recorded the audio was trying to be like, oh, well, I won a Grammy too, and it's like, no, nigga, like you did not win a Grammy. Like, so I don't know. Like, it's just like, nigga, if you weren't up on the stage grabbing the goddamn Grammy, I'm sorry, like, bitch. And they didn't say your name.
A bitch recorded in the
like Destiny's Child.
A bitch recorded in the studio next to the studio that somebody won a Grammy from when they recorded the song, and they said, "Bitch, that's mine." They said,
"Nigga, deliver some Aquafina to the goddamn studio, bitch." And was like, "Bitch, I the night they recorded that goddamn song, I was there, so I won the Grammy." Bitch.
They delivered a homemade plate. We gotta move on.
Stop. Okay, next question.
We gotta move on. We gotta move on. This declined rapidly.
Stop.
I'm so sorry, Pretty Boy. This isn't about them. This is about you. This is your time. All right.
Yeah.
Somebody submitted a question.
No, it's fine.
That's somebody who has came at all three. So hey, when you come at multiple people, that's what happens. So good day. You're welcome, Daynada.
Daynada.
You're welcome, Daynada.
Bitch, I'm crying. All right. Somebody said, would you ever go on a reality TV show?
Ooh. Am I first?
Oh yes, yeah. You're our guest of honor.
So I was. You're the guest. I'm just asking. I actually almost went through with Bad Boys. This new, or what is it? Yeah, Bad Boys Club.
The one that was with Zeus, or the one that's on Gemini?
Gemini.
Oh my god, I'm so glad you didn't. I'm so glad you didn't. But
like, I was like, these bitch. Like, I watched like one episode, and within like 5 minutes, like everybody's like beating the shit out of each other, and I was like, listen,
for no reason,
for no reason, for TV. I'm like, I'm too pretty.
Like I was gonna, I started shooting a show because there's a show called G Status Atlanta. I don't think it's on anymore, but they were bringing it to LA, and I had started filming, and it fell apart because I guess like the producer had attacked one of the ex-castmates at the Chasing LA premiere, and he ended up moving back wherever with his boyfriend. So it kind of fell apart, but I had got the formula of how a reality show was filmed, and I was like, I could produce this with people I know, you know what I mean? So like I said, if that's something that you want to think about, like you said, you got Nick, I got my boyfriend who does the film, we can get a couple other people and we could talk about it. And like I said, document our shit. Like I said, I already got the storyline for the first season. Let's talk. I'm serious.
Kid literally just plugged his own reality show into this. You see that? He was like,
no, but
if y'all ready, let's go.
The show's not even coming out anymore. It's done. The show's done though. The show like so that's why I was like, I want to pick up where it's like all us trying to make it in the queer music industry.
Yeah.
And at the end, like we're all trying to do maybe a track together, a 3-song EP together, and at the end of it, where the final episode is us performing at fucking Pride, one of the Pride.
Like Love and Hip Hop meets like making the band.
Right.
But for like queer artists. So if there are any producers out here who have budget or people that want to participate, hit us up.
We can shoot a sizzle reel. That's nothing. Get a couple friends, feed them. Be like, here's a fucking gimbal and a goddamn iPhone. Hold this shit and hold this phone on this person. That's all you do, babe.
I mean, it is a great idea. Would I ever go on a reality?
We'll talk about it later.
would I ever go on a reality TV show? I think it would just have to be the right fit. That's probably my answer for that. And I guess you already kind of said that you did one before, Kid, right?
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, it didn't come, like, it fell apart. I think we were on like episode 4, and then like I said, the producer attacked the next castmate who he had fired. It was like drama. Like he sent us a text one day. He was like, this guy is no longer part of the cast. He cannot be at any of the filmings and da 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 da. And I was just like, oh shit. So then Chasing LA, I don't know. Are you guys familiar with Chasing LA? It's like it's a YouTube. Yeah, they had their premiere, the LA show. They had their like season 2 premiere, and like it went down, and then all of a sudden it was all little gay blogs and shit. And then all of a sudden he was like, hey guys, we're gonna have to pull the plug. And I was like, oh shit. But I got all the footage because I was gonna.
They're too thirsty for like you were saying, the other show, the Bad Boys Club or whatever. Bitches are too thirsty for like a little 5-second clip online that goes viral, and it's like just be you and like get popular that way. Like you don't have to be doing so much, you know.
You don't, just be yourself. Like be funny, be chill, be like, you know.
And that's my thing. Like I feel like I would honestly low key be like reality TV gold.
Same.
But like I would be like, I need like Real Housewife material. Like that's me. Like that's the kind of shit. Like I want an 8-season run. I want to be like Dorit, you know, where I start out looking one way, I have a whole different face 3 seasons later. Like that's my journey.
Andy Cohen, if you're listening to this, cast PrettiBoiRoq.
I could be the first gay Real Housewife of Beverly Hills. I just have to find a husband first.
Right.
We can do that. That's easy.
If there's anybody listening out there who has money, preferably, and wants to wife up Pretty Boy.
In the Beverly Hills area.
Let me know. I'm tired. I'm tired of working.
So this next question says, Marcus, I have been in a very loving relationship for the past 2 years and feel very cared for by my boyfriend. Recently, he sat me down for a serious conversation where he explained to me that he's always been curious about race play. I am Black and he's white. I feel so conflicted because everything has been amazing our entire relationship, and this really came out of left field. What should I do? Lord. Okay, Pretty Boy, you're our special guest. I'm gonna let you run with that.
Leave him immediately. So the white man is asking for race play, correct?
That's what it sounds like, yes.
Absolutely fucking not. He's like a closeted racist. He voted for Trump. Bitch, run. Run.
It's interesting because
that's crazy.
They say the past
like,
few years...
I've had the opposite where like, you know, like I've had like, I usually don't date within my race. And so I had like a guy I was kind of seeing, and he was like he wanted to like do race play as well. And I was like, but the opposite, like he wanted to like demean the white man, like let me like power trip the white guy. Even that made me feel uncomfortable, as much as it's probably deserved given our history. It still made me feel uncomfortable. But like I feel like race play is very delicate, especially like given our current political climate.
100%. 100%.
And I think if your white boyfriend is asking about race play, especially if he wants to be like the dominating factor within the race play, fuck no. That's scary. You gotta leave, like, girl.
Right.
Girl, like you in danger, girl. You in danger.
Right. Like psychologically, like I would be trying to figure out like where does this kink or curiosity come from? Like what deep down inside of you is turned on by this idea? You know?
Racism.
Yeah.
Right, it's weird.
Yeah. I would say, I don't know. I mean, you pretty much touched all the bases that I feel like I don't really have much more to add on that. What should I do? I feel like you need to really, you might need to pack it up. 2 years, luckily 2 years isn't that long where it's like you still, like you need to figure that out before you're in like a 10-year relationship. Because that's a long time to be spending with somebody. I'm glad that this person brought it to you 2 years in instead of it being 10 years down the line or some shit.
Well, I guess I got questions.
Right. What are your questions?
I don't think they're here to answer.
I mean, maybe they can answer it and we can bring it on later. But it's like, what type of race play are we talking about? Are we talking about some the Django 14 years a slave type of fucking race play? Or is it like, give me that black ass kind of a race play? Is it a goddamn Kunta Kinte ass chains and whips, nigga? Is it a like... You calling me hard ERs? You trying to buck? You trying to do all that extra shit? Like, nah, nigga. I mean, now you say, give me that chocolate booty, give me that Godiva, nigga, give me that fucking Ghirardelli. Then I'm like, yeah, baby, shit. But then, I mean, if you gonna talk about NIGGER, something, 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 Master Kunta, no, bitch, get the fuck away from me.
Absolutely
No,
not.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think like asking for like chocolate booty, I don't think that's race play. Like
It's still
race play
fetishizing,
is,
but yeah, I
like,
don't think it's race
there's
play.
a power dynamic
Yeah.
one way or the other.
Okay, then yeah, then no, then absolutely fucking not. Break up.
Yeah,
with that nigga.
I feel like race play is like
That racist nigga.
I feel like I feel like race play is like, here's some cotton and some shackles. I want you to pick the field, like, and I'm gonna be beating the shit out of you. Like, you need to have your natural hair out, type shit.
Not your natural hair out, bitch. Oh, bitch. You a damn fool if you stay with that nigga. You a damn fool.
You heard it here first from all three of us. You need to get going.
Right.
All right. Somebody wrote in and said, top or bottom, shaved or hairy. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if this is. I'm not sure if they're asking preferences or if they're asking like what we are. And if you don't ever want to answer first, you don't have to answer all these first either.
No, it's fine. I just want to know, like, are we touching all the bases, or are we?
You can answer it however you want. Your art pop can mean anything.
Okay, so for me, I'm true verse, and I am waxed. I don't want hair personally on me. However, with my partner, you can be as hairless or hairy as you want to be. The only thing I do ask is, like, there needs to be something slightly above the dickhead. Like, if it's completely shaven, that weirds me out a little bit. Penises look weird completely shaved. Mm-hmm. Just give me a little bit of hair there. The balls can be clean. It can be, like, full-blown forest. I don't care. Mm-hmm. Ass. I love hairy ass. I love clean ass. I love eating ass. It's all good. But I think for, like, my personal journey, I don't like hair on my own body. And I'm so hairless from the waist up naturally that from the waist down, I just have to match it.
Love that.
Kid, you want to go next?
I mean, I usually get sugared for my ass. And I'll, like, buzz the front. I mean, I have, like, deep, not really hairy legs, but, you know, like, moderately, whatever. That doesn't bother me. My chest, I like to buzz it. I don't like too much hairy because it makes me not look as in shape. So I like to make sure that that's, you know. And then my boyfriend likes my ass is a little bit smoother. So I like to make sure it's, you know, sugar. I like to sugar instead of wax.
And top or bottom, it says.
Wax. Oh, verse top. I'm more of a top than I. What? Why are you laughing, nigga? Fuck you. Why are you laughing?
Because we've seen your music videos.
Oh,
I know.
No, everybody thinks I'm a bottom too. Everybody thinks I'm a bottom until they meet me, and then they realize that I'm 6'3" and like 220 pounds. Like, right. It would take a big ass nigga to fucking. I mean, okay. So
I like to bottom, but I mean, I'm not. I don't would consider myself a bottom.
I know, but I feel like we're like
little. I'm like 5'7" and 130 pounds. So like people just want to throw me around,
tossing you, twirl. Spinner, they be spinning you around.
Jeez, not a spinner. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so for me, I'm also very versed, but I feel like I always end up being top because I'm, again, a person of large stature. Right. And shaved or hairy, I like both personally, and for me, I'm on the hairier side.
I forgot to say that I like both too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I think like it's. And this might just be me. I think like it's very inappropriate to tell someone what to do with their body hair.
Right.
Like, I think it should be like what you personally feel comfortable with. So, like I said, for me, like I like being hairless. That's just me. But if I wanted to grow my shit out and have like full blown forest downstairs, like,
right.
How dare you come at me and tell me that as long as it's clean kept and like,
even if it's not, bitch, like, you know I'm living my 70s fantasy. The fuck?
But I don't know. I just think it's very weird. Like, I've dated guys who are like, oh, like, you're smooth, right? And I'm like, I mean, depending on when my last appointment was, like, you got to grow a little bit before you can take it back off. Are we just not going to fuck for the week? I got to let it grow?
Right, go find some other bitch if you want a fucking pedophile. You want some fucking smooth.
Find a 12-year-old.
No,
you want naturally
right,
hairless? Go find a 12-year-old.
right.
Trump.
Huh. Okay, somebody says, why aren't gay rappers popping off? Your streams show that you do well, though. I feel like this seems a little shady. This question feels like there's a little shade in it for some reason.
Why does it sound shady?
It says, why aren't gay rappers popping off? Your streams show like you do well, though. ...
Well, who are they talking about, though?
They just wrote in. They didn't have a name. This is literally, I'm reading it verbatim.
No, okay. Well, I guess we're not popping off. Oh, okay, yeah, go first.
Ooh.
Well, the thing is
No,
like,
yeah. Shut up, Marcus.
But I think what people have to realize, though, like, what is, like, doing well in streams?
Right.
Because if you, because case in point, like, I just left TuneCore, by the way. And if anybody's still with TuneCore, fuck TuneCore.
Yeah, fuck TuneCore. They've been on some
fuck
bullshit.
TuneCore. Can we do a PSA?
Yeah.
Fuck TuneCore.
Yeah.
Really?
On some bullshit.
Okay,
but I was at, before I left, I was at 1.87 million streams. Okay? This because TuneCore released this thing where they do lifetime streams. So 1.87 million over the course of the almost 10 years I've been doing music. And then they have like your royalties. Out of those streams, I made not even $8,000. To shoot a music video in LA with a videographer, it's going to cost you at least close to $3,000. By the time you book like the location, you book the videographer, you pay the models, you pay the, all the little things you don't even think about, like even like down to outfits. So for the price I've made over the 10 years, I could maybe finance 2 videos. And I released 3 last year. So that's why I think like artists aren't popping off, is because streams don't mean shit because they don't pay you.
No.
And people can listen to your music. Like, look at certain mainstream artists. You look at like, I will not name names on mainstream artists because I'm not trying to piss anybody off. But I will say like certain like female rap girlies who have amazing streams but can't sell out a tour. Like, I think, like, virtual support versus physical support is completely different. I have a lot of people who stream my music. That doesn't mean they're going to show up to every LA show I do.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's hard to get people out anyways, even if they fucking love you down. Motherfuckers they be there once in a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with PrettiBoi on that one. Like, I guess, I don't know. I think we need more, maybe a little bit more visibility. I feel like, because they're literally getting one view of that's why I think if we did do a reality show, it would be more so about like the representation, because I feel like we got like Saucy Santana on Love and Hip Hop, you know what I mean? And that's showing like a different type of a rapper, you know what I mean? It's showing a different type of a gay man. It's showing, you know what I mean? So it's just like, that's why I think representation, we need to be put in front of people, and I think people would gravitate. Like, I think all 3 of us would be great on reality TV, but not just to be on reality TV, like to actually build our brands. You know what I mean? People be like, oh fuck, they're actually like doing the goddamn thing out here. They haven't made it quite yet, so we can connect with them because they're still like on our level. They still go to work and have to go to work and make money to make their videos, because they're not making money off their streams. They're not sitting up to pretending that they, you know what I mean? So I think once we have that platform,
Yeah, and you can look at like Lil Nas X, who is probably the biggest out rapper, and he gets millions of streams. His videos get millions of views. Is he touring?
No. Right.
Is he considered doing well? No. Everyone's like, oh, he fell off. And he's getting millions of streams. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like that was. I actually do feel like that was a very pointed and almost shady question. I was like, why aren't you guys doing better than you are, considering how much you're doing? And I was like,
yeah, that's kind of how I read it as well. But yeah, no, I definitely have to agree. I think that industry wide, like so a lot of people when they sign a deal, like they get an advance, right? for people who don't know about how the music industry works. So it's like if you sign this huge deal, you make all of this money up front typically, and then you're indebted, you're a slave to whatever label signs you, and you need to make that money back. You need to recuperate that throughout whatever the course of the contract is. So I think the industry as a whole isn't doing great as is, because like even thinking like we don't even have like how back in the day they used to have artist development, they used to have all these different things, and now it's like they're just kind of looking for cash grabs. Like people like in Ice Spice and love her down, but like somebody who pops off and becomes viral and they're like, how do we make money off of this? But then it's like she doesn't sell anything, you know, for her album, you know. So I don't think the industry is doing great in general. And I think also, I mean, look at the country that we live in. Like, you know, if you want to talk about why aren't gay rappers popping off, like the country as a majority just put somebody back in the fucking White House, and people in the White House who are like openly racist, Nazi, you know, like doing crazy shit. So it's like the world in general has an issue with queerness, you know, but like even us as a country, like America, like there's still so much stigma surrounding gay men specifically, because it challenges the patriarchy, and the patriarchy doesn't want that to be challenged.
But do you think that maybe like more representation of gay? Because I feel like whenever people think gay, they always think trans, or they'll say, oh, the blue hair with all the piercings. Like these are the images. This is what we learned in film school. Like this is why, like back in the day, the gay characters will always be the slapstick, the funny one. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The black person was always like the kind of, or not even the black person. They would always put the villain in black clothes. You know what I mean? It would always have a darker hue. Like the person would always not necessarily black, but they would have a darker skin tone. You know what I mean?
Well, even down to their hair color, if they were white.
Right.
You never saw a bad guy with blonde hair.
Right. Yep. So like that's why I'm like, representation is just so important, because the people like in small towns, like you guys grew up, if that was all you saw of a certain type of a person, that's what you're gonna believe that all of them are like. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why it's like maybe people just need to see more of it, and that's how stuff is gonna start to change. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but
I also like piggybacking, because I know Marcus, you kind of touched on like the actual like industry as far as like record labels and things like that. And middle of last year, I got approached by Universal Music. And they did send me a contract, and I can forward it to you guys. And if you read like the crazy 360 they try to wrap you into, like the amount of money they give you to produce an album versus like what you have to recoup before you even start making money again, it's like designed to put you in debt and almost shelve you. So I don't know if it's like a like scheme to kind of get like queer independent artists off the market, or if they're just trying to make a quick buck like Ice Spice, where they give you that one viral hit and then they just shelve you.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's what I think that's what it is.
Because like I read through the contract and I sent it to one of my best friends, Cinnamon. She's a entertainment lawyer in New York, and I sent her the contract. I was like, look, this looks weird to me. That's my bit. By the way, she put one of the questions on, and I have to do this because I told her I would give her a shout out on the podcast. One of the questions she put when I put on Instagram, like, ask you a question, she goes, how much do you love Cinnamon? And I will say, I love this bitch down to the moon and back. Bestie forever.
We love Cinnamon.
But yeah, she's a lawyer, and I sent her the contract, and she literally was like, this is crazy. Like, this does that, no.
Well,
and so, like, I sent back, I was like, I have to respectfully decline.
And then they try to shelve you. Want to like, because if that second song doesn't hit as hard as that first song, then it's done. They're not putting no more money into your shit, and it's like, oh my god.
And then too,
look at Lotto. She ain't got a budget.
I know. I know. I was having this discussion like literally the other day, and I was like, I want to like Lotto so bad. I want to like her so bad, but there's just something about her that just does not stick like grits. And I'm just like,
Bitch from the South was my shit.
Yeah, that little song where she's like rapping over the violins or whatever.
Rich ass bitch from the South.
But
and then she brought Sweetie on. It was cute. But then they both kind of fizzled at the same time. It was like a pop rock.
Sweetie, Lord Jesus. But that's a different. But no, but Lotto, like I said, I want to like Lotto so bad. Are you a Lotto fan? Like, do you have anything? Like, I love Brokey. I like the what I gonna do for my birthday. What are you gonna do? I like that song. I like a few of her songs, but then I just feel like she like cosplays. like an
Yeah.
ATL ghetto
Well,
ratchet bitch. I'm just like, what is it?
well, here's the thing about Lotto for me personally is like Lotto has that very like ATL Southern sound that like I grew up listening to. So there is
Okay.
like this little like soft spot for her.
Okay.
And I do think she is lyrically talented. She's
Yes.
just not, whatever she's doing is not what she's supposed to be doing. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It doesn't.
Something's not clicking. It's like, you
Right.
know, it's like it's just the wheels aren't quite turning correctly. Like she's got the lyricism. She can rap. I guess she's pretty.
I think it's the imaging. It's the imaging. I think it's her imaging. It's like you want to be so ghetto and bad. It's like Nunu from ATL. Like it's
Yeah,
like
I almost think
don't
like
know.
she should have tapped into like that whole like Nicki Barbie aesthetic a little bit more, maybe.
Huh.
She should have done what Sweetie did with the pretty girl music because she actually has talent to rap. So she could have been pretty bitch music.
Okay, you heard it here first. And you said,
sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a Lotto, but I just.
But you said, but also, Pretty Boy, you said, "Fuck a bitch from the South. I'm the prince of the South." You said, "I'm coming for spots, bitch."
Love that. Love that.
Well, I
Wait,
feel like
real
the
quick.
whole like king thing's tired. Everybody's the king. We get it. Like you're all trying to be Nicki. We get it.
Huh.
Like I'm the prince. I'm still young. I'm still vibrant. I'm not a king yet.
Huh. Wait, real quick before we get off this topic too, when we were talking about contracts, I also wanted to bring up, and not even to get too deep into conspiracy theory land, but there's also, have you ever heard about like the death clause in music like contracts where they're like, even if you die, then you still owe us this money essentially. So there's like theories out there that people like some of these artists like XXXTentacion, like why they always are releasing these like what's it called, post-mortem
Posthumous
albums is because
albums.
they're still making that money up off of them. And so then there's people that are like, they were killed, they killed them. Like if people are like I've heard, I don't remember who it was, but they're like, if an artist like isn't doing if they're like a drug addict or something, or like they're not doing well and they're like, we're not gonna make this money, this person's a fucking, personally they're struggling, let's just get them up out of here and make the money off of the death clause shit.
I be watching. I'm so random. I watch like random like Chicago gangster rappers. Even I don't even listen to gangster rap, but I love watching their little documentaries and shit. And literally, like they were talking about how like they know that these guys are like in rap beat or like street beefs and shit like that. So they like make sure that they take an insurance policy out on them, and because they know they're gonna die within so long. So it's like they'll collect it and not the family. So they'll get like millions of dollars on these like rappers that get shot in the streets. I'm like, this is fucking insane. Like, what
crazy.
the fuck?
Crazy.
Which is crazy because they're probably signing them for like $100,000 like sign-on bonus, and then they're making $2 million off of them once they die.
Not even that, more than that. They're like, because they're taking
and then
out
they're
big
probably
insurance.
just like launching their music back to back to back, like they're doing with Juice WRLD right now.
Because it's like how much money they could have potentially made. That is what they're like getting these insurance. So it's like 10 million. So it's like, yeah, they sign up for a couple, but their estate isn't getting that. That's fucking insane to me. I'm like, so fuck
and
that.
not even
independent is the way to go.
Yep, 100%. Okay, moving right along. This is a question specifically for you, Pretty Boy. Somebody said, have you ever experienced any discrimination being a white rapper?
I hate this question.
Let them know.
Especially like giving our like current political climate, I don't want to play victim being a white person. That's just not my journey. I'll leave it at this. I do think that being gay in the rap community already puts you at a disadvantage. And then I think being white in hip hop I think hip hop's the only arena where being white, I don't want to say gives you a disadvantage, because I think you always do have some semblance of white privilege. But I do think you get taken less seriously. I do think that you really, for me personally, my journey, I feel like I really had to like prove myself that I wasn't a gimmick and I wasn't just here to like try to make a quick buck. Like I actually have like passion and I actually write. And that's just my personal story. But to say like outright discrimination, I can't. I don't know.
Be honest, you're not gonna look like you're complaining or nothing. Nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, white tears." Just say it, because there are some racist ass black people out here. Like, let's be honest. And I hate when I hate when black people say that they can't be racist. That's not true.
Well, no, my only thing is like I don't like. I feel like for me personally, like I do think like there were certain points where I had to prove myself twice as hard, and I do think I rap twice as hard as some other people. But because I'm white, like it's still kind of negated, if that makes sense.
No, for sure.
And I also do think, as much as like I contribute a lot of like why I started, like I do think like Iggy Azalea kind of like tarnished that stain, because like I hear so much you sound like Iggy. And I want to be like, no, Iggy sounds like me. Because like I actually grew up in the South. Like that, like the way I speak my dialect and like the way I rap, that's something I actually grew up with and was around. Whereas like I'd have no disrespect towards Iggy Azalea. Everyone who knows I'm a stan. I love her.
People tell you that? I don't hear. Do you? Is that what you're going for? Because I don't hear Iggy.
No, I get it all the time though. People are like, "Oh, you're like a white gay Iggy," and I'm like, I don't hear it. Like, I do have the Southern drawl to my raps, but I don't feel like our cadence, our flow. I don't think that like my overall like my beat choices, I don't think are very Iggy Azalea-esque.
Not at all. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like people just be like, don't know what to say, so they just say anything. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, the first white rapper, like, oh, you got to be.
Well, it's kind of like when I first came out, people were like, oh, you're like the West Coast Caswell. I'm like, well, I'm actually from the East Coast, but also like, if you listen to Caswell and listen to me, there's nothing similar about our music.
No, right. No, and that's I hate that, because somebody told Drury King that he was like the hood Big Dipper, and he was like, our music sounds nothing alike. And I was like, that's just because they're two big hairy white guys, like,
right?
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right.
So okay. I mean, just to like, I guess like to finish it, and then like you guys can add your 2 cents in as well, because like, you guys are both like men of color and like the gay hip hop community. I think for me personally, there's very few white gay rappers. And
drag
I think
Eminem.
that,
I said drag Eminem.
There's a couple of those. Yeah, but I think for me personally, I don't know. I like just do my own thing, and like the people who fuck with me. The people who don't. I've never met someone who's actually talented who doesn't fuck with me, so I'm good there.
I don't have anything to add in, but I do have a question about Iggy Azalea.
Yeah.
What do you guys know that clip where she's like, she was performing, I don't know what performance it was, but she was like, so 2 clips that come to mind, and I love it. I love a lot of Iggy's music too, but 2 clips. So the one when she was at the radio station and they were playing her music, and then somebody called in and they were like, man, turn this shit off. What the fuck?
That wasn't okay. No, that was okay. So I did a deep dive into that. Somebody clipped that onto there. That wasn't her show that was said on. That was said on a different. But that guy has done that where he'll call into certain, and it wasn't for her, but somebody like chopped and it wasn't when she
debunked. And then the other one was when she was performing and she was like, straight crack pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, I was like, girl, what?
Well, she was on the. It was the Kendrick verse, right?
Yeah, but she was like a runaway slave, master.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
I was like, oh, she's speaking Australian.
Well, also, like, to be fair, and not to defend her, but when she remixed Kendrick's verse and she did the whole slave master line, she actually, like, played it for him before she released it.
Ooh.
And he was like, nah, you're good. You don't have there's, like, no issue with it.
Ooh.
Because it's hip-hop, and I think, like...
setting her up.
Well, they were both kind of coming up at the same time. I don't think he was. I think him, personally, he was like, I don't think it's weird.
Right.
So yeah, kind of like with Kid, like with his verse, I was like, I don't think it's weird, and I might get fucked over in the end run. But I was like,
no, I feel like if you do, I don't care if they got something to say, I'll be like, I ain't got nothing. It is what it is. It's fucking art. If you're mad, it's mad. It's not like I said F that group of people. I didn't say
no.
Right. It is what it is.
And my thing is like, I'll double down. Like my thing is like, I support my bitches hands down. So I'm like, no, I approved it. It's on my song. What's good?
Just like I have one of my friends, he says the N-word in one of my a couple songs. He's Latino. I'm not gonna stop you from saying that shit. It is like, you know what I mean? Like, I know people. You know what? Like I said, I am an Aquarius, and I'd be like, you know what? If you feel like putting that energy out there and you can defend it, then do you, babe. Be like, do you, babe? Drew King asked me, can he say it? Drury King was like, what if I ever said it? Would you? I was like, no. If you wanted to say it that bad, like you're more hood than I am, bitch. Like,
Well, I would never.
You heard it here first.
No
All right.
A, no hard R. That was no.
No. Would you ever call him like? What if you said like ninja?
No, like why? Like what? Like what's even the point?
I wouldn't even
like why do you
around
need to say
just
it?
because it's just like it's not honestly like I don't feel like I would ever have to.
Right.
There's so many times I'm writing and I'd be like that would fit so well.
I know, and I hate. I that's why I'm like I fucking so glad that I'm black so I can say nigga. Like it's something that helps. That helps. So
well, that's why I say bitches so much. Like that's my version. I'm just like bitches this, bitches
like,
that.
Nigga. Like I literally have a song coming out that's like
fucks up
nigga. Looking at a bitch,
okay.
wanna suck him, fuck up, nigga.
We gotta get through these questions, y'all, because we still got a bunch.
Sorry.
Okay, somebody wrote in and they said, "Hi, Mark." They said, "Hi, Marcus and friend. Do you have any dating deal breakers? If so, what are they?"
Like on the first date, second date, third date.
It just says, "Do you have any dating deal breakers?" However you want to interpret it.
I have a lot.
Not the list.
Yeah. No, I'll pick the best one. Somebody can also jump in at any point in time if they're like ready to go.
I would just say hygiene. That's it.
Mine, yeah, I was gonna say. I was gonna say bad breath is mine.
Cute. Yeah, sitting up there farting all day and shit. Like, no, baby.
Yeah, mine is bad breath. I was when I lived in Hawaii for a little bit, and I was chatting with this Hawaiian man, and he was real cute or whatever. But like, he had like
what
that.
Was his name?
I don't know. Kaleo, I think. And I used to have him be my photographer too. I was busting this pussy open in his camera. Anyway,
in the middle of the street.
But he had like a rot tooth, and it really took me out of it. Like I never even let him get a little bit because I just couldn't get past the rot tooth.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody with bad breath, that's a deal breaker. That's it.
It's weird, and it's like for me too. Like everybody's got that moment where your breath might be like a little far south, but like tell me, be like, baby.
Here's some
okay, but like you can also tell when somebody's just like maybe had like one too many margaritas versus like somebody who just like doesn't have good dental hygiene. There's a different smell.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like the rot tooth, like baby, go to the dentist. Like let's get that figured out.
Get that shit out. Yeah.
Let's get that.
I will also say like a big thing for me is if I go out to dinner with you, regardless of who decides dinner, where we go, I usually try to pick up the check on a first date. It's the Aries in me.
Oh shit! But when we going out, shit.
But my thing is, if you don't even try to fight me on it, like if you're not like no, or if you're not like let's split it, like it's not about you actually splitting it or taking the check. But if you don't even try, if you're just like thank you,
right?
Oh no,
like,
yeah.
Bye.
Oh, you're Aries. Oh my god, I love Aries man. Oh my god, I love Aries man. Ooh. I can never be with an Aries man, but like I just love Aries man. Like
you say that about every.
No, I don't, nigga. I said I can't stand on. I said I can't stand on Taurus. No, nigga. I said y'all Tauruses, y'all know everything, nigga. But I said I can't date y'all either, nigga. I know that. I can't even date my boyfriend, and I'm with a Cancer.
Cancer. That's 3.
You're with a Cancer. Does he cry a lot?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like a butterfly farts sideways. This bitch
right. He wants to be on the show, so we might have to get into some things if he come on. Now that I know he out here crying. You be putting it on.
I love Aries.
You be putting it on him, and he be tearing up a little bit.
Let's not go there because yes, that has happened, but we're not going there. We'll talk about that on another episode. Shut up. Wait, have I told you that? I feel like I've told you that. You bitch.
You've never told me.
Episode 3, sex talk with Marcus.
Right.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Somebody wrote in and said.
Oh my god. Okay, here we go.
They said, "Do you want these sweet toes?" That's the whole.
Can we
question.
see the toes?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you got some whole
these
gargoyle.
Sweet toes or these sweet holes? No, I'm just kidding.
Toes. Do you want these sweet toes? That's all they wrote.
I have to be honest. I'm not a foot person, so I'm gonna do hard pass.
at all. You've never had, nobody's been hitting it from the back and they put their foot.
No,
up
I'm
in
not gonna
there?
lie. No, I'm not gonna lie. When I became a massage therapist, I was not into feet, but then like there was something about doing like guys who like had like, I would say like 6 foot and above with like big feet, like massaging their feet. It just felt like it did do something to me. I don't know what it was like, but I wasn't. And like they had like the nicest feet, but they were just so big. It was just like, fuck, you're like massaging like a king's foot. It was just like, and I kind of just wanted to be like, it was. I don't know. It was hot. I don't know.
I'm just like, I'm also super ticklish. So like when people start like putting their like mouth on my feet, like I'm scared I'm gonna kick you. Like it's gonna be like a knee jerk. I'm gonna start like, I'm gonna get like, you're gonna tickle me and I'm gonna like run my foot up your, I don't know.
I like, you know, when you're like hitting it, if you're topping, I don't know, like, oh yeah, both of you said that you're first. So like, you know, when if you're fucking somebody and like they're on their back and then they have like their legs up on your shoulder or whatever, if you just take.
Oh yeah, I'll totally put their feet in my mouth.
Right. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm not even like a foot person at all, but I definitely.
But I do the smell test first.
Not the smell test.
You know, they right here, you just like, you know, you gotta make sure they're clean before you just put them in your mouth.
You gotta do a couple of smell tests, absolutely.
Some people love that shit.
The dome, you gotta do the wraparound, you gotta do the.
Have you ever come across anybody on like the apps or anything and they're like, oh, like I just left the gym, like I'm nice and musky and I'm gonna come over, I want you to get up in this sweaty bush.
No comment.
This ripe, come eat this ripe ass straight out of the gym.
Oh, I used to have a guy who used to want me to come. He wanted to blow me after the gym. I let him. It was cool.
I let him.
I let him. Well, on that note,
I did. It was cool.
Here's my thing. Like, if I'm with somebody and like we've been together, like I think that's hot. Like, once you get like a man, you like you get your man smell, and like he stank a little bit.
It's cute.
Like I like the stank, but it has to be on stank on somebody I know. If you
Like,
come over to my house the first time, I don't even know your last name, and you stink. No. I'm
yeah,
good.
yeah,
right.
Hard pass.
I feel that. Okay, PrettiBoiRoq, this is a question for you. Who is Ann and Andy about?
Yeah, I know what, but I would like why that title? That is an interesting. That's a good question though.
I'm not gonna put any names in it. Period. Like,
is it like a
I think to name something is to give it power, and I'm not gonna give those particular humans any more time and energy or money. Long story short, I was working on a collab with 2 artists. One of the artists in particular was extremely difficult to work with, via production, everything. It was just this constant, like there was issues. Kids worked with my producer Tim, and Tim was just like there. Let me not put, yeah. Ann D was very hard to work with vocally because of the way they did their vocals and things like that. So we would spend hours editing the song, and they were just constantly unhappy with it. And I pay studio time. So every time a mix gets remixed, I'm paying hourly. And I'm fronting it because it's my song. So like it just kept going. So it got to a point where I was just like, look, why don't you go to your producer, work with your producer, send me your vocals, we'll mix it in. Bitch. So Andy did. And the vocals were so fried, we had to like spend hours fixing them. But we finally got a mix everybody was happy with. Then I fronted all this money for a music video, which we shot. And Ann and Andy were not happy with the edit. And they wanted to come in and comb through every single bit of footage and hand select what they wanted on the video. And I said, that's fine, but again, I pay my producer an hourly rate. So if you would like to come in and work with the producer, you can pay him, because I'm not going to. And it became a whole thing, and so they pulled the plug, and I lost almost $4,000 on that project.
Wait,
because I couldn't release it.
They just were like, no, well, you can't put this out anymore. I still would release my shit.
Yeah, they were like, we no longer want to be associated with the project. They accused me of using them for their talent and clout. They said that I was manipulative and insincere, which anybody who's actually ever worked with me, kid,
girl,
you can vouch. Like, I am very like accommodating. If you ever work with me on a project, I am hands down like, what do you need? What do you want? Like, I will take care of it. Like, this motherfucker was like, I have to bring my dog on set the day before. So I was up till midnight contacting the company to be like, hey, is it cool? We have a service animal, which wasn't even a fucking service animal. It was a goddamn greasy ass dog in a stroller.
Oh shit! Because those peer spaces don't play about that shit. The peer spaces.
No, it was peer space, and they were like, "No, it's fine if it's a service animal." And I was like, "Okay." So like, I got everything cleared like the night before. Like my PA was just like, "What the fuck is going on?" Because I have a whole team, so it's not like it's just me. I'm like, I'm talking to Nick, I'm talking to Kat. I'm like, "How's this work?" So after all that, like, watch the next day, I was like listening to beats, and I was actually squatting, and I don't know, Raggedy came to my head first. And I was like, oh, wait, Ann and Andy. Like the Raggedy Ann, Raggedy Andy dolls.
Yes.
And so then I'm like sitting there and I'm like squatting and I'm like, you know what? Let me get it off my chest. I'm going to play this one time. I'm going to lay this shit to rest. And it just all started like, I wrote the whole song in 20 minutes. And then I called Nick and I was like, listen, I'm coming over to your house. I'm going to spit on this beat. Tell me what you think. He's like, we have to record this. So I recorded it with Tim the next day, got it mixed, got it mastered the next week, and we recorded the video 2 weeks later. Like, they didn't even, like, call me. They literally sent me this, like, 30-page email, and they were, like, screenshotting all these things. They said that the video looked like an SNL skit, which was just a product of them not being able to be on camera correctly. It was a whole amalgamation. It was so weird.
Well, babe, I'm like, you should have been in the gym, babe.
Chanel, and I was like, hey, Chanel, I was like, does this look, am I crazy? Like, I thought this looked okay. Like, if we shot it in black and white, we did like the CYC wall, we had this like rotating thing. It was like a whole thing.
It looked fucking sick to me.
And I was like, this is dope. Why are they like freaking out? And I was like, I think because they don't like the way they look on camera.
Well,
and it's, I don't know.
They look like you should have got into the gym.
Right. That don't have nothing to do with me, babe. You should have talked to your makeup team.
Maybe you know how to
your hairstylist.
Right. Like maybe you need to learn how to get in front of the fucking camera and work the shit, bitch.
Right.
Well, and then had the audacity to be like, I didn't charge you. They're like, I didn't charge you for this feature.
What?
Yeah, no, you shouldn't have. Like, what the? Oh my god.
I was like, like you don't have any.
But see, that was good for you because I think that's gonna make you more stronger in like the industry and stuff like that. Because you're gonna see these people from a mile of fucking way now. Like, yeah. So that like,
you know, because I think I actually texted you that same day, and I was like, "Bitch, you're right.
Yeah,
you're like, told you so."
Nah, right. I was just like, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lord. Mm-hmm. All right. The next question says, "How do find a sugar daddy? How do find a sugar daddy?"
Well, I had a recent experience, if you guys want to hear about that.
Absolutely.
Please.
Where I had this gentleman come into one of the restaurants I work at. I work at 2 different restaurants in LA. And he was an older white male. And he kind of like smarted off at me. I smarted off back at him because like my demeanor in restaurants, especially at my age, is I'm going to give you the energy you get back. I'm like done with this whole fake nice shit. Like if you're going to be a bitch to me at the restaurant, I will be an asshole, right? Trust me. I invented the game. You don't want to play it with me. So like we kind of went back and forth and he was like, you're a little brat. And I was like, maybe. And he was like, sounds like you need somebody to take care of you. I said, why? Do you know somebody who's interested? And he goes, me, can I have your number?
I love that.
And so, like, I was like, well, maybe you can come in next week and try again. And he's like, I'll come in every week till you give me your number.
Is he good looking?
Okay. Right.
He is very stereotypical older white male.
Plain.
Rich.
He got money. I went to his house.
Oh! Did he give you some sugar?
So anyways. Listen, the sugar didn't match. Let's just leave it at that. But like, he had like a weird fetish thing. And I won't get into details. I'm not trying to air anyone's dirty laundry, but let's just say like
he never gonna hear this.
Interesting fetishes. He also piggyback off what Marcus was saying. He was like, "Can you make sure you're completely smooth? This, that, and the other." But then like the math wasn't mathing, so I was like, "Listen. I work 6 days a week between 2 jobs. You want me to give you my 1 day off to spend time with you?" I was like, there needs to be some kind of like arrangement. Like, and he's like, well, what do you think? And I was like, Well, typically how these work, as someone who's done this before, there's like an allowance based on how much time you want spent, and it escalates based on this, that, and the other. Because the more money you give me, the more money I can take off work to spend more time with you.
Right.
Like it's called math.
Period.
And he was just not about it. And I was just like, well, good luck finding somebody who just wants to like, especially because he had very specific needs. I will leave it at that. And you want to do it for next to nothing, and like your idea of spoiling somebody is like cooking them dinner when they come over. Bitch, cook myself.
He was trying to date. He not trying to be a sugar daddy.
Exactly.
He wanted a boyfriend.
Exactly. But don't tell me you're gonna take care of me if you're not gonna take care of me. Like, he had a big ass house. Like, it was fucking huge. Like, grand piano in the living room, whole 9 yards. Like,
he'd probably be sex trafficking.
Stop.
All right, that was a good story. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Somebody said, would you ever start an OF? For those who are listening, if you're out of the loop, OF is OnlyFans.
Don't y'all have one already?
Oh. I haven't had one in a very long time. I used to have one though.
I used to have one.
Okay, so neither one of you are active at OnlyFans right now.
Mm-mm.
No.
That wasn't shade. I thought like,
Yeah,
but
Did you subscribe to either of us?
Hard.
I don't think so.
So you don't support the girls?
Actually, Marcus, I think I subscribed to yours.
Hard.
I was tearing that shit up in mine.
Marcus was heavy on that shit at one time. I was very.
I know, and I kept getting my fucking Instagram deleted. I was doing too much. I was thoughting too hard on Instagram, and they kept taking my shit down, which was annoying because it's like my one Instagram had like 10. It was like my original Instagram, and it had like 10,000, 11, 12,000 followers, and like organically was like had motion, and then like they took my shit down and did not give it back. So it's been annoying to like start back over again off of that. But would I ever start? Like, would I do it again? I don't know. It'd have to make sense. But I'm not opposed because people be making money. Right. Let me grow this podcast and then let me start it again so I can fucking have a big following. But it was cute. Right. It was cute money for a little bit.
Yeah, I think my thing would be, if I was gonna do it again, I think it would have to be the right fit. I think I would also try to like create multiple like avenues. Like, I'd want to do like music exclusives and like plug the music into it, and then have like the adult side of it as well. So like it's like an all encompassing, and you unlock. I would do like an unlock feature. Like, I think I would do a free OnlyFans, and you have to unlock shit.
Would you?
I think that's probably more financially lucrative than charging someone a subscription.
Would you ever do like an X-rated music video and post it to OnlyFans? And if so, what?
Absolutely.
Like how X-rated would it be? Would it just have like naked people in it, or would it be like ball slapping?
I would fuck on camera to my own song.
Okay. Love that.
I think that would be hot.
Yeah.
I would charge a pretty penny.
$20 for.
But yeah, I would absolutely do like. I would think I would do like a full on like sex tape to one of my own songs.
Love that. Kid, would you start an OnlyFans or revive yours?
I would do it, but I would do it differently. I would just do it like with like if I wanted to do like an X-rated version of it, like a song or something like that, like, and then just do like, I don't know, like a more expensive subscription, but be like, hey, it's a fundraiser for my music, but at the same time, but I don't think I would do like fucking. I would probably do like really suggestive, like definitely showing my butt, maybe showing some public hairs. Maybe showing
not public hairs. No, I feel like I would do mine. Like, my thing with OnlyFans, so when I had mine, it was like with an X because that motherfucker owed me some money, and so I recouped that shit. That's why I started my OnlyFans. But like, I would do it again. But like, my thing is like, I'm too much. Like, I don't like people enough to just be fucking a bunch of random people to be like building business off of sex. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like very selective about like who I'm actually trying to fuck or like spend time with because I'm fucking busy, you know? So it's like,
right, and I would do a scene and I'd be over it. Like, I'd be like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah.
right. No, 100%.
This is too much. Like, I like, how do people do this like 2-3 times a week? Like, I'm like, what the fuck?
Like 7 days a week. Bussies ran through. Bussies are ran through.
Like I'm just like I couldn't. So I'm just like, yeah, more power to him.
Yeah.
I tried to. No, I literally tried. I was like, this ain't for me. This ain't the life for me. Yeah.
Have you ever? This
But
isn't
I
a
fuck with
question. This isn't a question on here, but a question for both of you that just came to mind. Would you ever let a lesbian peg you?
If she was
No.
hot,
You wouldn't
it
do it.
depends.
I mean, Pretty Boy,
Like
you
if
said
I
in that
was,
song, you said you ain't fucking with the. You said you've been in the clams, but you said just kidding.
I said psych made you blink. I ain't playing in the pink.
Huh.
Bet on the stacks I can make that pussy purr.
But okay, so what if there was like a butch lesbian that was like that had a deep voice, and they were like, "Pretty Boy, I'm trying to let me clap that. I'm trying to crack. I'm trying."
Here's my thing. Okay, like I think women are beautiful. Like don't get it twisted. I think women are beautiful. I think actually women are more beautiful than men. There's just it's not even about like the vagina because I would totally like date a trans male.
Love trans males.
Like I've never actually, but like I find them extremely attractive.
You
Like
need
I
to.
would totally do that.
We
So it's
talk
not even
about
about the
this all the
vagina
time.
so much as it's just like I think there's like a sexual compatibility between like I just don't want to fuck a woman.
I have somebody I can
It's
send
not my
you.
journey. Huh?
I have a couple of friends I can send your way.
Right.
If you're whenever you're ready to
For that
get you a little
experience.
get you a little something
A
extra.
little trans experience or like lesbian experience?
No, a trans man.
Oh, I would totally be down. Yeah, like I think trans men are hot,
They're beautiful. Or
and that's the
handsome.
thing. It's like it's not about the vagina. I think it's just more of like even like a butch lesbian still reads female to me, whereas like a trans man is obviously like reads man to me.
Right, because it's like the body
The,
hair, it's like the voice, it's
the
I hear
chest,
it's
yeah.
it's definitely different. It's definitely different.
Testosterone.
Like I've seen, I have
sorry, lesbians, that's a hard pass.
because I have lesbian friends, and I'm like, oh, like you're cute, like you're butch enough that I might do it if we were like drunk enough, but like at the end of the day, like no, like yeah, like a trans man is definitely I think a little bit more.
I fucked a couple of cis women, and I enjoyed my experience.
Oh, same, yeah.
Oh, calm down, hardtop. Okay, we get it.
I have
Definitely
too.
not
Like
that.
right.
Okay,
you should
so
try
this
vagina just once, Pretty Boy.
this last one, look how long this shit is.
Okay, well, hurry up because I got spaghetti to eat, nigga.
Okay,
They should have made that a clip note.
This is somebody submitted a story for us. They said, "Hi, Marcus and guests. I have a crazy story that is going to leave you gagging in more than one way. LOL. I recently met this fine ass trade, like 10 out of 10, super fit, very handsome, well hung, and definitely on the down low. He was all about being discreet, so I already knew what type of time we was on. When he showed up, I really couldn't even handle how sexy this man was. We started doing what we do. I'm giving him the sloppiest toppy ever imaginable.
Oh my God.
And eventually I was about to start sucking him from behind. Lo and behold, this man gets on his hands and knees for me to do the deed, and he fully has shit smeared in his asshole still. Like as
oh my God.
like as they said, like as a grown man, how do you not know how to wipe your ass properly or be clean for a hookup? I immediately was gagging and not in the way I wanted to be, and was so turned off but felt too embarrassed to say anything or make this situation awkward. I let this man fuck me but couldn't get the smell or image out of my mind the entire time. Sorry for the long
Girl, I'm
story,
judging
but
you.
sorry for the long story,
I'm judging
but
you.
figured you'd enjoy.
I'm judging you. That's all I have to say. It's your fault. You even let that shitty nigga fuck you. I know, right? Yes, I'm with Pretty Boy on this one. That's your fault. You are the clown for letting that shitty booty ass nigga fuck you still. I would have told that old shitty grown ass fucking man to get his dirty ass Hershey Highway heaven ass up out of my fucking bed and go get him a fucking Uber, nigga. And you got 2 fucking minutes, nigga. Get the fuck out of here with your nasty, shitty ass, nigga.
Sorry, I had to pour another drink before we even dive into that.
With these motocross fucking chunks in your fucking ass, nigga. The fuck is wrong with you, ho?
Okay.
Fuck is wrong with you?
Here's my thing. How, like, but how do you not know?
Cause niggas is
Oh,
nasty.
No,
oh,
but how do you not know? Like, I honestly, I like, and maybe this is me being gay. I smell check constantly.
yeah.
Am I
But
the only
maybe
one?
it's not caring. They said that he was giving down low trade, and high key. Whenever I look at straight men, like I always am like, I feel like this motherfucker doesn't know how to wipe his ass right.
Yeah, there's a few of them you look at, but I'm not gonna say that all trade because I've had trade before, and like I took a chance one time, and his booty was clean as fuck. I was like, nigga, are you sure you ain't fucking gay, nigga? What the fuck? I was like, because his shit was fucking spectacular,
Huh? But
and
do you
wasn't
think?
even expecting me to eat that shit when I was
Huh?
But here's my thing: is like if you like, and maybe this is a straight man thing, and I'm just not accustomed. But like, if you know somebody's gonna go down there, right? Like, I am so conscious of like, even down to the amount of hair I have on my body when you are going down there. Like, I could tell you the length. So like, how do you not know there's shit on your booty hole unless you are like fucking wasted drunk?
Like, did they
Like, were
just
they
like wipe?
drinking?
They
What's
like
the
wiped it
context?
one
I don't.
time, and
That's nasty.
they wiped it one time and got
I'm
up and said, "Okay, time to go to my hookup."
right.
I'm just saying, if it was me and I was down there and they got on all fours and there was shit on their asshole,
It's a wrap.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
well, how hot was he? How hot? Like on a scale
No,
from
ma'am.
1 to 10?
They
No,
said 10 out
ma'am.
of 10. They said 10.
I don't know.
I meant.
Maybe I'd be like, hey,
They
let's go
said,
take a shower and freshen up.
okay, so you would go clean him up.
Nah, I'd be like, let's take a shower together. Let's take a shower.
And would you be like up in his booty hole, like washing it? You'd be like, no, hold on, let
Oh
me.
my
get...
God.
You're like, hold on,
See, now y'all
With
got
a
you
lot
leaving
of soap. I'd be like,
Oh, you're like, let me just get this really quick.
God damn it. Why did you guys go so deep with the story? Because now I do have a story like that, nigga. Well, me and my boyfriend were coming home from the club, and this nigga rode by on the
Okay,
he
spill.
rode by. No, well, he rode by. Long story short, he rode by on his bike. This was like the second time. He was like, "Yo, you guys like guys and girls?" And we were like, "Well, we like guys." And he was like, "You guys want to hook up?" And we knew he was straight. He had tattoos, cholo ass nigga. He was just riding around the neighborhood on his bike. He came up. We were fucking around with him. He was more of a top, and then we were like, "Yo, you want to try to get that booty played with?" Da da da. So whatever. He let us play with it. It was a little. So we were like, "Yo, let's go get in the shower." We cleaned that up. We was all up in that booty, making sure it was soaped up, and then we brought that shit back and started eating that shit. Whatever, it happened.
well, that's the thing. It's like, I get it. I'm not gonna say shit happens, but
Right.
like shit happens.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, and I understand also. Like, I'll be like, we get back from the club. Like, if I bring Trey back from the club, and like we're in my apartment, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go freshen up in the shower. Do you want to join me?
Right.
Because that's a golden opportunity to not only like it's like sexy foreplay in the shower, but also I'm setting everything up because I know I'm gonna get in every crack and crevice. Because my thing is I'm gonna be like card swiping it from back to front. So
Period.
What do you think? What do you think that people have? Because I feel like a lot of people, especially like my little straight girlfriends that I be having, like a lot of people are like embarrassed to like speak the truth like about sexual encounters. You know what I mean? Like I'll be quick to if I'm not feeling it, I'll be quick to kick somebody out. Like this isn't it. Like I don't like honestly, like I'm here for my pleasure, like selfishly speaking. Like I'm not here to service and please you, bitch. Get the fuck out, kick rocks. I remember I was living in student housing one time a long time ago, and this old down low ass Indian nigga came over, and he was like he was like, do you know any Indian people on campus? And I was like, no. Like why are we doing all of this? Like we need to be doing all of this. I'm like, why are you asking? And he was like super like sketched out, you know what I mean? And was trying to ask me if I knew this person, that person, the third person. Anyway, so like I was like, shut up, bitch, and like grabbed the back of his head like to start making out with him, and he was on some shit like this. Some shit like that. And I was like, okay, not feeling the vibes here, but let me try to see if I can go one step further, because I was about to fuck the shit out of him. He was real cute. So I was like, let me eat your ass. So he like gets on the bed, and this motherfucker lays flat with his legs closed, flat on his stomach, legs closed, just flat like a fucking board. I was like, hey, sorry, this isn't gonna work for me. I was like, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. I've had to kick a couple people out. I don't have any guilt or shame or embarrassment because it's like, if this isn't working for me, what are we even doing?
This is not working.
Yeah.
Right.
See, I do. Like, I feel like I've given so much, like, fucking, like, charity booty to the world.
I have to. It's okay. I have to. You feel
Because
bad.
I'll be like in the middle of it. We'll be like already almost there, and like,
Do you have
like
anybody?
they'll get in, and I was like, well, this ain't working. Because like, you know, like even down the stroke pattern, I'm like, what are you doing?
Right.
Do you have any names you want to drop?
Well, I don't know most of their names, so I'm kidding.
Oh, I know that's right.
No.
Well, on that note,
I don't kiss and tell. I would never like have sex with somebody that I've had sex with a lot of people who are probably listening to this, but I would never like out somebody sexually. Like that's
Yeah.
have
I'll
either of you
talk about it, but I'm not gonna.
have either of you ever had to sign an NDA?
Fuck no.
yes.
And on that note, this is X Marks the Spot. Again,
Right.
that number is if you want to call in for a feature guest or a feature episode, you want to call in and ask us a question, tell us a story, something good, make them good. Ask for advice. The call-in number for that to leave a voicemail or a text is 415-448-6630. Thank you both so much for being on today. This has been such a fun episode. I can't believe we're at like 2.5 hours right now.
Nigga, for real though.
It's the key.
It
No,
was
100%.
funny, though. It was really good.
Yes. Thank you both so much. Do either of you have anything that you want
You're
to
welcome,
plug?
Janata.
Do either of you have anything you want to plug?
Anybody in the LA area, I'm performing Thursday night at the Do Not Disturb party. So if you guys
Ooh.
want to come show up, I'll be
Cool.
performing the song we featured earlier, along with another unreleased track from the album with Tokyo. So
This coming
Where were you
Thursday?
performing at?
it's at Kiso. Yeah, Kiso in downtown LA, the Do Not
Okay.
Disturb party.
Oh, I've been there. I had a my friend launched his underwear party there. It's a smaller bar, but it's cool. They have a nice like back areas. Yeah.
Yeah, they have like 15 plus dancers. They do private dances and things like that, but I go on at midnight. So if anybody wants to,
It's
I
really
don't know when
nice
this is
though.
airing.
Yeah,
maybe
I
that's
was gonna
for
say
you
that's
guys.
why I
You
was
can edit that out.
that's why I was asking. I'm like, this won't be out for another week. So
That's
Oh,
dope.
you can just edit that out. But if you guys want to come,
I
Oh,
know.
wow.
I love that. That it's a cute little place. Yeah, that's a nice place. Yeah, it's like the first
kid,
gay
if you're
bar
in the area, let me know. Or if you want to come out to the area, you're always welcome to crash. But
for sure. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
and then where can people find both of you online?
Insta, Spotify,
What's your handle?
yeah, I would say Spotify, Instagram,
at Kid
at
Deville.
PrettiBoiRoq.
Yeah, both of those. Yeah.
All
At
right.
OK Deville on Instagram. Yeah.
And Pretty Boy, what was yours?
At PrettiBoiRoq. PrettiBoiRoq, because the Q is
Hey.
for queer.
Hey, I know that's right. And my name is Markus X at Markus X Official or MarkusX.com. This has been our second amazing episode of X Talk. And with that, we're going to go ahead and hit this one more time.
This that X Talk, body rock, give us everything you got. X Talk, never stop, tune right in, you know the spot. X Talk, body rock, give us everything you got. X Talk, never stop, tune right in, you know the spot.
Check us out next week for whoever is joining us next. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you both for joining again.
You're welcome. All right. Got to go eat my spaghetti.
Love
I'm so
you.
hungry. I love y'all. Bye.